So a vital way to build your team up, especially no money spent, is through Team Affinity. Now this season's Team Affinity has a ton of really good rewards, a ton of packs, a bunch of charisma cards which are 97 overalls that you get from just playing the game. But it is kind of difficult to complete these Team Affinities, and I actually did complete all 6 divisions, and I actually did it a couple days ago on the day I'm recording and posting this. But anyway, here are my tips on how I completed these so quickly. So first of all, the first thing that you are going to want to do is do all of the moments. There aren't that many. There's only 5 per Team Affinity. So you're doing 5 moments for 6 divisions, so you're doing 30 moments. And they each give you 1,000. So that's where you should start at, and that'll give you 5,000 for every single division. And now once you do those moments, you will get your first henchman pack, which is the 84 and 87s, or not 84 and 87s, just golds and diamonds. So after you have your first cards, what you're going to do is every time you get one of these cards, you're going to put them in a separate lineup. Don't use your God Squad. Make a team with all of these cards, because if you notice, there are some PXP missions, not that one, I always get them mixed up. There are some PXP missions with every single one of those henchmen that give you a ton of points. I did every single one. Do the same, and I'll show you guys a fast way to do these in a little bit, but I did every single one. There's 5 golds and 5 diamonds for each division, so that's 10 overall. Each of them are 3,500, so that's 35,000 for each division right there. Moving through the program, we also have the captain cards, and they also have missions as well. Captain stat missions. Now these missions aren't PXP, so you could literally go into CPU games, like tally stats with them and quit. The PXP you can't quit until you get to the 9th hitter. So these you could just do like that, but I just put them in my team, in my missions team, and use them in another thing, which I will bring up. But make sure you're getting your stats with the henchmen and the captains. If we go to exchanges, I did not do a single exchange. They are so not worth it this year. They're so expensive and they barely give you any progress, so it's just a waste of stubs. For the showdowns, you got to do all the showdowns. There's one for each division, but it's only for like the geographic part of it. So there's an East showdown, which gives you and when you complete it, you get 15,000 points in the AL East and the NL East. And then there's one for both Centrals and there's one for both Wests. Do them. They don't take that long. They give you 15,000 points. Moving on to Conquest, same thing here. It's pretty similar to Showdown in the way that it works. You have one Conquest for both East programs, you have one for both Central programs, and one for both West programs. These take a little longer than the Showdown, and as a result, they give you more points. But I highly recommend you do these as well, because that's 25,000 points, just like that, from doing the Conquest. March to October, I did not touch, although this could be a good method. If you are decent at the game and you can win March to October on All-Star or Hall of Fame, that's around 10k an hour. Because March to Octobers, I think it's like 8 to 10 hours, and if you get it done in 8 hours, then that's 10,000 points per hour, because it's 80,000 points from 8 hours. Hall of Fame is a little more, obviously you'll get more points from higher difficulty. I just didn't end up doing it because I didn't need to, but that could be a method if you guys need it. Now the last thing in Team Affinity is the mini seasons. Now let's go to mini seasons. Mini seasons it's interesting because the way it works is you have to build a team based on, shut up, I have enough players. This is annoying. I have to go into the edit roster and then I have to like just, yeah. I think it actually uses my season 1 squad, but I think that's what it is. But yeah. So basically how this works is it's a single like offline mode season where it's a 28 game season and there are 8 teams. They're just computer teams, and basically what you end up doing is you just grind against the computer. It's kind of, they're 3-inning games. What I like to do is I like to get to 20 games, assuming I don't lose a single one, go to 20-0, and then I just load into the last 8 games and just quit. Because you already clinched the 1 seed by then, so there's no point in playing these games. And then in the playoffs, you got to play them all, obviously, to win the championship. It's 4 teams in the playoffs, and they're best of 5 both rounds. So that's another 6 games. So in total, you're playing 26 3-inning games, which takes a decent amount of time. But if we look at the goals, you're getting a ton of XP, stubs, and packs, but you're also getting these vouchers. And you get 3 vouchers from making the playoffs, you get 3 from making the championship, and then you get 4 from winning the championship. So if you win a championship, you will get 10 vouchers. And if we go back to Team Affinity, if you exchange these vouchers, you get 4,000 for 1, and you get 20,000 for 5. So overall, out of the value that you're getting for 1 mini-season's run, you're getting 40,000 Team Affinity points. So what I ended up doing was I did all of the conquests, I did all the showdowns, and I did all of the captain stat missions and henchman missions. But the way I did these missions was I built a team with the cards that I would need stats with, and I would use that team in conquest and mini seasons. So you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. That's how I did it so quickly. Just literally build a team. As you get more of these cards that have missions, just put them in a separate lineup and play with those cards while you're doing the conquests and mini seasons. It saves so much time. I highly recommend it. Now, for me to get 100% in all of them, what I did was I did every single moment. I did every single captain stat mission, every single henchman mission. I did every single showdown, every single conquest. But that's not going to be enough. That was not enough to get all of them 100%. So the showdowns, or not showdown, the mini seasons, I did 3 Team Affinity mini seasons, and that was still not enough. So basically, if you do literally all the moments, all of these XP missions here, all of these henchman missions, and 3 mini seasons, including the showdown and conquest, you're still not going to be able to get it all done. So what I did was, by the time I got to my 3rd mini season, I had all of these missions done. I keep clicking the wrong one. I had all of these stats and PXP missions done. So what I started doing was these team build missions, and these come naturally. You are getting 2,500 PXP with Season 1 eligible from these teams. And these I was getting naturally from just playing the game. So what I did was, when I was about to start my 3rd mini season, that's around when I completed all these henchman missions, I started building my team with players from the teams where I was really close to getting 2,500. So for example, in my third mini seasons, I think in the mission it was at 2,000 out of 2,500 for the Baltimore Orioles. So what I did was I put a starting pitcher from the Orioles in my mini seasons team, and I pitched with him very frequently until I got to 2,500, and then I subbed it out for a new team that I was close with. And I built a team based off of these missions, based off the teams that I were closest to 2,500. And that's basically, that's how I got to the final 150,000 in each division. So in conclusion, Team Affinity is going to take a lot longer than it has in previous seasons. I don't really mind it, but those were my tips on how I got it done quickly. People don't realize that they can build their team with the mission, with the guys who need the missions, and use those in like conquest and mini seasons, and it saves so much time. And yeah, and I went through all the other stuff that I did. So I hope this helps. If you guys have any comments, drop them down below. I'll answer them for sure. But yeah, if you guys are new here, I'm Nick from Bane's Gaming. Follow me on all my socials: TikTok, Twitter, Insta if you want. But make sure you subscribe here on YouTube. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.